This presentation is an overview of security and is broken down into three sections: client-side and general security, PCI scanning, security of data. The security of a user's data on the Cellulike platform is paramount. We look at the security in a preventative sense rather than curing issues after the fact. The way that our partners and users access the platform means that we have to be proactive 24/7 to prevent issues before they happen. For client-side and general security, we apply the normal industry standard protocols such as 2048-bit SSL certificates, random password salting of users' passwords, the use of forced SSL for users navigating on the Cellulike website in case they try to access the website in an unsecured manner, SSL connections between servers and devices, and we never ever send passwords by normal email. On top of this, we apply additional measures such as SSH encryption keys for our server admins, IP lockdown on admin areas, two-factor authentication for Amazon data, key man access to sensitive data via secure VPN, multiple firewalls, and segregation of data across different providers. These measures are just some of the precautions we take. This leads me onto the next topic of PCI scanning. PCI stands for Payment Card Industry. PCI scanning is usually applied to online merchants who store sensitive credit card details, and in most cases is required by law for the merchant to operate PCI compliant servers. Cellulike does not in fact store credit card or payment details for our users. However, in order to maintain an increased level of awareness of the security of our platform and to ensure that we are maintaining a higher level of awareness, we do subscribe to PCI scanning of our servers by McAfeeSecure.com on a regular basis. Simply put, having a PCI compliant platform means that we are offering a higher level of security than what would normally be required. This is not to say our system is impenetrable. By all means, even military installations and networks get compromised. It's not just a matter of how, it's simply a matter of when. What matters in our case is how we proactively handle security and what happens if and when a hacker gets past all the firewalls and security measures. And this leads me on to the final part of the presentation, which is security of data. As mentioned in part 1, we randomly salt all the users' passwords. Generally, hackers will try and access a system in order to get the user's passwords because around 90% of online users use the same password for their email or other online services. If a hacker can access a customer's email, they then have access to a wider array of the user's life, such as online banking details, credit card details, and the ability to perform identity fraud. Salting a user's password in the Cellulike database means that a hacker, even if they compromise a database, can do nothing with the passwords. They will merely have access to simple data they can't really use and has little value to them. The same can be said about the physical data of the contacts, photos, and videos. Unlike most other companies offering similar backup systems, Cellulike does not risk storing physical vCard data in the same location, even if the vCard data is encrypted, meaning that in the unlikely case that a hacker compromises the user's database, there are no physical files to be accessed, hence reducing the exposure of the physical data. In fact, we do not even store physical files on the same network as the user's data. All our data is stored safely inside Amazon S3 and is double encrypted. So even if a hacker managed to access the Cellulike database, they would also need to hack Amazon S3 and would need to beat Amazon's file encryption system as well as match up users' records to the actual physical files. The only way an intrusion would be possible is for the perpetrator to have extensive knowledge or extensive internal knowledge of Cellulike systems, as well as access to physical two-factor authentication devices configured to keyman access details which the perpetrator would need to have access to, plus be in possession of VPN details which require the perpetrator to be in the certain physical locations in order to use. So although not impossible, it's highly unlikely that a hacker would be able to obtain access to all security measures and get hazardous access to any data. So the procedures and policies we've applied to the Cellulike platform hopefully will give our users peace of mind knowing that we are safeguarding their precious and personal data.